All right, that's more like it. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. It is the 3rd of February, 2024. And my original plan, I'm still going to stick with it. I've got to do a couple of these commissions. I got like a sketch here, and I got another sketch of these guys playing a game. But I also got corrections, and I think I want to do those. So if you haven't seen my thing recently, I finished my Moon Knight page, and I'm really proud of it. So of course, what you do when you finish early, send it to the teacher, and you get corrections back. So here's my corrections. Hang on. Wait. Let's we'll bring this up. How do I do this? The best way to do it is to duplicate it. Select, duplicate. Okay, and we'll call this corrections. Corrected. Okay. And I'm going to insert the photo that he sent me an email, and there it is. And you can see, I don't know if you can see that there's quite a lot of corrections on there. So, but all in all, pretty good. And these are great. These are great notes. I think for some people, I think it's tough to hear criticism, but like I said before, now let me just reduce this a little bit. Yeah, he's dead on with that face there. He said at the end, and actually this is in the email as well, I think life drawing could really push your work forward a lot. Totally true. I used to do a lot of life drawing, and I haven't done it lately. And one of the reasons, and it's not a good reason, hang on. One of the reasons I haven't done as much life drawing lately is because I look at other people doing life drawing, and they're often pretty far behind where I am right now. So it looks boring. It's actually it's not boring at all. It's actually quite fun to do gesture drawings and life drawing. And if you're watching somebody who's kind of new to it and they're real stiff, they're just trying to draw the heck out of stuff. It can be a little bit mind-numbing. So anyways, look how he corrected the face here, and I think that's incredible. Let me show you the original. I knew my shape was off. He fixed the chin. So I think that the thing to do, when somebody gives you a good correction like this, let's how do we fix this? What's the best way to fix it? I think what we have to do is we'll put another layer on top. These layers are transparent. And let's see how he re-sculpted the face. Like around this way. He is completely correct when he says you did this from imagination. You didn't look at a reference too closely on this, and that is in fact quite true. All right, now let's take this and we're gonna so what we're doing right here is we're rolling the correction layer out that I've changed, and we're seeing what have I got to change on it. Well, I've got quite a lot to change actually, and that's where I'm doing my erasing. I think 19 is my new corrections layer. Is that it? It's not. No, it's 22. 22 is my corrections layer, so we're going to label it so I don't forget. Anyways, welcome everybody. Hang on one sec. All right, this isn't good. Also, I had a bit of an awkward panel, more than a bit of an awkward panel, on the one with the tooth here. Like, this is my hand holding the tooth, which is okay. It's pretty plebeian, actually. He did a really good correction on it. Okay, let me fix this though, because this is my version was a cop out. So let's take a look at his again. Look at this. Curve finger hand over. So right. Yeah. Curve finger hand over. All right, let's take a look at my inky layer. And we're going to go ahead. Whoops. Whoa, hey. We're just going to get rid of the old hand. Oh, but I need this. All right, well, let's take a look. Hang on. Let's drop the corrections layer out. I think that is a solid piece of advice right there. Look at that. All right, let's take a look at how my hand was. There's my hand original. You forgot music. Is there music playing? Can you hear the music? I could turn it up a little bit. All right, hang on. All right, so this is mine. This is his correction. Other direction. Look. I had it. Hang on. Let's look at this again. Inky. Why is this not working? He turned the hand. Yeah, maybe that's the note actually goes with this panel. It's like he redrew the entire thing. All right, let's take that. We're going to reduce the opacity. We're going to go back into my original layer and erase it. And let's just think about how he did this. I have this is, hang on. So this is a great reference book. This is Bridgman's Book of 100 Hands. If you're a cartoonist or you want to be a cartoonist that draws semi-realistic looking hands, this is pretty good. Bridgman was Mr. Life Model, instructor, and all this book is it's just, it's hands in different positions, back view, front view, the morphology where they take it apart. Palm view. And he's absolutely right, and I probably could have found, how do I get I mean, these hands, they look like John Buscema. This is definitely like the thumb. Fingers. This one right here. Look at that. It's not far off from where he was. like it's slightly different between this one and this one. The pointer finger, I like to think of it as sort of your manipulating finger. He's holding a tooth, so. All right, let's think about that one. And he also noticed that I took his sleeve out, so yeah, that was on me too. All right, let's go ahead and give it a shot. No, I don't like tracing. But it puts you in a weird position where when you get a correction, especially if you get a pro correction, they expect you to, if you're not going to actually do it, that can get people really annoyed. In fact, there was a bit of a controversy on our guild at one point when there was kind of neophyte artist who was just not getting it, and so several people submitted like corrections, like here's how you should do it, and they gave him, and he just ignored them, and I understood in my mind. I think I understood what was going on. Is he was overwhelmed. He didn't have he was not at the level where he could have benefited from the correction, I guess. So it looked like he was ignoring them. But I don't think he really was. I think he really is like, I really wish I could draw that, but I just can't. Anyway, made people mad. But man, it's hard. It can be hard. Drawing is hard. Hey, what happened there? I somehow got to my speed hatcher. Bring back the rusty nib. All right, now when you're holding something, let's hold something small. I got my new set of glasses today, but I'm not used to wearing them. Okay, how about this? This is about the right size. This is a dice. So if I'm holding a tooth, right? If you turn your fingers hand like this, you get the whole angle right here. Hang on. Ah, crud. Now, part of me defensively wants to say, there's a reason why my stuff doesn't look like realistic art, is because it's not meant to be. There's I'm cartooning. But I do think there is an observational benefit that I would get. Let's take a look at, I don't know if I like how he did his knuckle here. So that was his knuckle. Let's do mine. I'm looking at mine and I don't know. I think I might have a better one. So what's this? This line is too thick. One thing I really don't like about it is previously we have the tooth silhouetted. Like if we were to draw the hand in silhouette on the original drawing, you could see the tooth cleanly. The way you really hold it, it's actually inside the silhouette of the hand. The tooth is inside, so there's nothing distinctive about it. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. All right, how about this? Looking at my wrist. I'm not looking at this. How about something like that? That finger's too small. You'll notice, by the way, that I've pulled off the teacher's correction trace. So at this point, I really am on my own. I don't think it would be wrong of me to just flat out trace the correction. I think that's kind of what they expect you to do. However, I think you'll get a little bit more benefit by getting an initial, like a loose one, and then kind of looking at it yourself. I'm looking at that finger. All right, we're going to do an old school comics trick here in a second here. It's not super clear that that's a tooth. So what we're going to do, we're going to point some things to it. Dintu2 asks, do you think that some left-handed characters are made left-handed because the illustrator was using their left hand as a reference? That's a possibility. But how do you know who's left-handed? I don't know which characters are left-handed and not left-handed. If you've read I forgot the dude's name. The guy who does JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, that guide to manga, he advises you create like a whole, look at how big this finger is compared to that one. He advises that you create like this whole like portfolio about each character, including their blood type and their, their likes, dislikes, favorite color, all this stuff. Which I think it's good to know, to get to know your characters, obviously, but I don't know if I would go that far. He has other advice in there that I know some people have not liked. Like, for example, he believes that the action over the course of a series should continuously ramp up. The perfect example is Dragon Ball Z, right? Or, it starts out and he's fighting one character, and then suddenly they're destroying planets. It continuously ramps up. Same thing with like, Yu-Gi-Oh starts out as a humble. It is a winning formula. I started reading the Goblin Slayer manga, which Goblin Slayer wasn't actually ever. I mean, I saw a bit of the anime, but it's kind of the same thing. It starts out, it's really following the young girl character that's not. She's a neophyte adventurer, I guess, and then she gets caught. Her party gets ambushed by goblins, and they use that to bring in Goblin Slayer. But then it just keeps, kind of ramps up each time. All right, I think we got something there. Now, this one's going to be tough. Let me show you the note on this third panel. You can rarely read it, but it says, look into more realistic skulls. Reference. Look into more realistic skull reference. Sorry, so we're going to do that now, too. The way to do that, hang on. I got to get another screen going. Present screen. Wait. First, let me bring up my reference page. Google. I'm just going to use Google, and I'm going to use Pinterest. Let's start with Pinterest. Right, here it is. Present. Share screen. Pinterest. And what is going on here? Why can't I do this? Oh, check it out. It actually has also share the audio tab now, too. Hang about. I'm almost there. No, I don't have slides. Share screen, share screen. Okay, there it is. By the way, let me grab my invite just in case. I don't know if Sideburns is going to make it, but I want him to know he's always invited. So let me throw him down a invite. Okay, let's see. I did all that. Okay. This is my Pinterest, by the way, and you can see this. I highly recommend getting a Pinterest board. Wow, there's a Boris Karloff monster game. I didn't know that existed. Hard to find vintage 1960s Boris Karloff monster game. Cool. Looks like it's based on Mad Monster Party, too. All right, anyways, we're searching for Bird Skull. Bird Skull. There we go. Look at that. That's the one I want right there. Okay. Hang on about. Well, he is correct. If you look at the two, look at the look at this one and then look over here at mine. And you can see that mine are way off. Okay. So let's give it a shot. Corrections. I like the idea of it being still at this angle. But the shape is completely different. I like, it's not a heavy, like I have this heavy bone. Do you suppose, when you look at this, does this seem like the upper, this is not the upper beak and the lower beak. It just sort of seems to imply that, but it's not. All right, let's take a look at what we got so far. All right, getting back to my inky layer. We're going to fill in everything. Aw, shucks. Could it be that? Could it be that? Oh, okay. All right, it is my inky layer. Okay, so getting back to my inky layer, you're just gonna I'm just gonna fill in everything that's wrong. And it looks like it's just coloring it in slightly gray, but that's actually completely black. The only problem is I also have the other layer on top of it, so I got to figure out what happened to this one. Corrections. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, so then I've also got to do this. Getting the shape right is super important. That's the tough part. So, but I've always said that if you can draw a circle and a square and a triangle, you can probably learn to draw. All right. Where am I? I'm on the corrections layer. I'm looking at it. I'm not sure I've gotten it. It's like there's a whole... There's this like little loop here. Also, it's much bigger. Like the eye socket of a bird is huge. Let's take this back out. All right, we're still in the corrections layer. I'm gonna just fill in. What's going on with my corrections layer? All the way up, all the way up. We're just gonna fill in a little bit here. And this will give us a good baseline, and then we can figure out how to texture it. I'll tell you what, I would take another class from Gavin Smith anytime. He's a good teacher. It's unfortunate there is kind of a disruptive person in that class. But he's a good teacher, and he's given me lots to go on. I was really kind of like, oh no, this guy's going to ruin the class, and it's going to be screwed up for everybody. It's very frustrating. But that's actually not what happened here. Okay. Yeah, it's much more delicate. There's a lot less going on. Now there's this weird like little pocket thing here. All right, let's try that. All right, the other thing is that I haven't quite captured, but it might just be the angle, is there's this, look at the big the beak on, I mean, the back of the skull here is pretty big. Whoops. How do I make it big? There it is actually. What if I stop screen and then I reshare the screen? There we go. That's the one I want. All right, here we go. Even better. The problem is it's at a different angle, so it's not easy, but that is closer. Do you think that's closer? I think that's closer to a real life bird skull. Shame on me for not really looking at a bird skull. I just sort of winged it. No pun intended. All right, let's see. You can always tell. I like the idea of it being an empty skull. Yeah, you can tell that which one am I on? Okay, let's go to Inky here. Same problem here. All right, now what do we do? It's facing the other direction. But it is closer in angle. Like that's a closer. No, it's because it's facing away. And there's no chin. All right, and so the idea was to have this sort of transition into the mystical world of the hieroglyphics, the shadow world, if you will, of Moon Knight and Khonshu. Is that the shape? Tintuti says, goofy question. What animal skull do you like the most? That's not a goofy question. That's a great question. When I was in middle school, that's when I moved to Texas, and somebody gave us a cow skull, and it was a cow skull they just found. It was just laying out there. So I thought that was cool. So we had that hanging up for a long time in my house. But like, can I include dinosaurs? Can I include the saber-toothed tiger? I like those. If you've ever seen a saber-toothed tiger skull, those are cool as heck. Not a goofy question at all. All right, so wait, if we do it like this, you can kind of see all the way through the skull. And it's the same thing here. Yeah, saber-tooth tiger, like a Smilodon skull or something like that. Because they have these. I saw one on display once at the Natural History Museum, and super cool looking thing. Oh, this one has like this. I mean, if we can include dinosaurs, so my favorite dinosaur is this Parasaurolophus. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those. It's the kind. It's so cool. Hang on, I'll show you a Parasaurolophus. I have to bring it up on Pinterest first. Parasaurolophus. I think I've showed you this before. But like, let me show you the skull to this thing, because this is wild. There it is right here. Okay, wait. Look at that. This one, that is cool. Yeah, the pickaxe head. And I'm looking at the other. Let's find the Smilodon. Skull. There it is. So, look at that. It's like the fourth search on there. Look at this thing. Like, that's an. Yeah, this is yeah, it is the one with the pickaxe head. But look at this thing. This is the one I was telling you about. It's like, this is like an album cover or something like that, you know? Wow, that's crazy. This is the Pregnant Mother Anatomy Jigsaw Puzzle. Oh, speaking of bird skulls, I didn't know they had this sort of, look at this little, it's a barred owl skull, but look at this little orbital bit that they've got. I've never seen that before. Have you ever noticed that? Yeah, the teeth on the Smilodon are wild. There's a macaw skull. Look at this. This is cool. That's a, what is that? Some kind of, an oryx. Or this is, look at, what is that? Like, is that a rhinoceros skull? I guess it must be. White rhino skull with horns. There's a giraffe. Look at this giraffe skull. That's pretty cool. All right, let me bring back my bird skull. This is the one. This is even closer to what I've. It's got the angle right. My problem with this one, though, is it's shaped a little different. I like the idea it's a little fold over here. All right, so we redrew both of these skulls. He did not have a problem with how I did the battle, except check out. Okay, here. Okay, let's call that a done deal, right? Let's go to the next correction. First of all, let's make sure that we did all this. Fix the hand. Fix the hand. We did it. Get a better skull. We did it. Okay. This one took. I had a hard time reading this. It says more dumbstruck. Like, make him. Like, this is my original. I thought I made him look pretty dumbstruck. Even more dumbstruck. Like, so I had the. This is cartooning right here. This little mouth right here, and then the blank eyes. You've probably seen this in sort of chibi manga or anime, when a character is shocked or surprised or dumbstruck. But he says, go further, go harder. So let's give it a shot. We're going to go ahead and erase. Am I on this correctly? We're going to make sure that we get the eyes bigger. Let's get to my corrections layer. Shucks. Well, we want to leave them blank. We want to leave those blank. What do we have? Like, I want to avoid the. Like, so this is tough. Because of the three-dimensionality of the face, this lip is it's curving down, right? That's a frown, but of course, to connect it up, I had to make this lip the lower lip, and now it looks like he's kind of smiling. So you got to watch out for stuff like that. You don't want him to convey the wrong emotion. And it's quite hard because everything will betray you at the end. In the end, here, hang on, just 1 second. Let's go ahead and I thought my slack-jawed, stupid face was pretty good. What's the correction look like again? Oh, yeah, he's okay. So he's going small too. This is what he suggested right here. So let's take that out. I think that's okay. Shout out to Dave H from my class because he saw mine. He's like, he said I'm annoyed that I didn't get to draw Juggernaut. I'm glad I got to draw Juggernaut actually, but of course. But I was like, just submit an extra page as an act of rebellion. And he's like, not going to do it. That's not unheard of, by the way. When I took my very first Qbert class, I had Mandrake and very first assignment, not me, but another student. He said, I did 2 pages. Because I wasn't sure which one I liked better. So sorry about that. And Mandrake said, at the Qbert school, you never apologize for doing extra work. And I took that to heart, right? So I've always tried to kind of do, like when I was in the inking class, I always did a bonus page. I haven't done it in this class because of reasons. So I think that we're already stressed for time because of the nature of things. And also he was having some trouble with the interface at first. All right, that looks pretty good. Let's do some teeth. I have a little bit of a sneeze. Okay, how about this? All right, here's his other corrections, and these are spot on. Okay, look how he changed the hand. This hand is very awkward. All I knew was I needed to get the hands big because Juggernaut's got these big hands. Also, change the pose legs. It's more off balance. This is spot on. This is exactly where I should have done. I'm sorry I didn't. So let's fix that right away. We're gonna get. You can see he started actually trying to fix my hand over here, and then he's like, "What am I doing?" This is how it should have gone, and he's correct. I don't have the right instinct yet to. How many fingers are there? That's a thumb. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is how it works. When you're drawing hands, this is an Ethan Becker rule. When in doubty, one finger outie. Make sure that you have one finger separated from the rest. And so in this case, that's his main finger. And let's take a look at it without the corrections. Oh, bad news, Bear. All right, we're gonna go ahead and just erase a bunch of stuff so we can figure out where we're going with this. Yeah, I gotta do some major reworking of this if I want to add that corrections. Like I may have to redraw the wing on the Khonshu behind him. But let's go ahead and see what we can do. All right. At this point, I've gotten like a basic trace. It is a trace. Of my teacher's correction, but I'm gonna work away from it if I can. Oof. I just realized. Okay, how about this? This pinky should be a little bit smaller than the other fingers, even if it is on Juggernaut, who's got giant hands. All right, and when you do this, I need to get my handbook out. So Zintu says, I look at your original and the recommended corrections and I can't seem to see the difference. It's there. You'll have to take my word for it. Um, I'll give you the correction again. So if you see it, the original is this hand up here, and he had forced it down here, and so that's pretty obvious. This one's pretty close. It's like he has the shoulder, the elbow down further down, and I had it further up. The hand is in essentially the same position, although he moved the wrist up a little bit and the finger up a little bit. Where's my book of 100 hands? There it is. So this is me searching for a hand again. Hang on. Take that back out. So we're looking at this hand. Look at these. He's got a real Popeye forearm at this point. Hang on. Look at this forearm I gave him. Let's get rid of all this. By the way, did you see that Hermitcraft 10 started today? Shucks, what is going on? Okay, this is oh, it's in my corrections layer. All right, that looks pretty good. That looks okay. Oh my gosh. All right, let's try that. Crud! All right, here we go. I haven't got it. I've got to look it up. All right, we're looking for a foreshortened hand. This is a hard pose to give to yourself, you know. Do you suppose they'll make another deck out this season? I don't know. I think it's too soon. But they started right off of the game. They did the Demise game, which is similar to the Life series, where last person to get killed gets a prize, kind of a thing. And but you couldn't. And then if you got killed, your name turns red, and you have to try and kill at least one other person. But you can't be a direct PvP. It's got to be through some kind of cleverness. And it was hijinks ensued. It was pretty fun. I won't tell you. Spoiler alert, unless you already know. Who are the new members of Hermitcraft? Fingers. All right, here it is. I think it's either this one or this one. Hang on, let me drop this out. Oh, it's almost exactly this one. Look at it. This one right here and this one right here are almost in the same position. So when you look at it, and it looks like I almost got the thumb right. Like, I think my instincts on the thumb were close. They were close. Shape is wrong. All right, now this is a tough finger to draw. Kirby was known for drawing these, these incredible hands. What if I make that eraser much smaller? I must have done right there. Right there. We watched all the decked out videos that they had on, at least on Grian's channel, and they were really cool. Like, it was neat to watch. In the last one they did, like the last few, they did it as a hide and go seek or a hide and seek kind of game, where they without even having the monsters attack. Well, actually, the monsters were in there. I'm looking at this. How does this knuckle? This knuckle is connected. I'm looking at my own hand too. It's connected to where your pinky is, kind of down here. Oh, I think we're close on that. We are super close. Let's So lately I've been getting into modded Minecraft, and I've been modding. I don't drive. Did you guys play the map? No, I didn't. We didn't. I haven't downloaded it. But I got into modding because we've been watching it, and it's so inspirational when you see it all. Oh, and this year, who is it? Impulse and B-Dubs are going to do a cyberpunk thing. They're going to do a cyberpunk 2020 style cyber map, which ought to be super cool. Because I even like that sounds awesome. Like, what would that look like? I looked at what other people were doing with cyber. It's a really cool style, like for Minecraft. I never would have thought of it, but it looks really neat. It made me want to try it out myself, just seeing it. All right, that's about as close as we're gonna get, I think. So let's go ahead and figure out what. His finger looks so wrong. I got it. It's too big. It's too big. That's not how it's supposed to look. All right, so here's the thing. He's got these like armored plates on the back of his hands. Oh, I'm so hosed because there we go. All right, there we go. I'm running into all kinds of interference from the other layers. All right, so we get back to the corrections layer. Armored plates. There's one of them. Line weight's wrong. All right, here we go. That's armor plate number 1. Armor plate number 2 is like mid forearm. This seems wrong right here. It looks wrong. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? What if we took the hand and we moved it up a bit? I think that does look better. All right, let's get back into corrections. And I think I've gotten my thumb is too big. Could it be the thumb is too big? Something like that. This is incorrect, obviously. This should wrap around the hand more. That's another of my problems right here. All right. That's looking good. Okay. Now the other hand, I feel like it's not as critical compared to what the legs are. Look how he did the legs. Okay. So here's the note. More off balance, right? And he is so right on this one. If I go to Inky, I'm gonna just drop this leg right here. And then we're going to drop a little bit of this leg too. Let's see. Well, that might have been in the right place. Let's go to dropping the thing out. Corrections. He had his legs kind of like here. Kind of like there. Okay, so let's drop the layer out. Yeah, I think he's right. Look at this big hole that's been left. I've got to fix that. Which layer is it on? It's not that one. Is it on panels? No. Layer 20? It's on layer 20. All right. We'll live. We'll live. Did you play the map, didn't you? Did you actually download it? I tried blocking it out. Let's see if does that work. Almost, kind of. All right. I'm looking at it, and there's parts of this that aren't great. I'll just say it. But what? 19? No. 20? Aha. There were some hidden lines that badly needed to be erased. Okay, in order to make this work. Okay. Now, to make this actually fit, we got to make the texture on the costume match what we just drew. On the corrections layer. Yeah, the concept was executed really well. I was looking around. I mean, I like to look around on some of the different sites about like texture packs and like the mods are one thing because they change how the game is played completely. But then there's also there was a really cool texture pack that had like this industrial sci-fi look to it that I thought was pretty cool. I'm not really into the horror games either, to tell you the truth. Could it be this one? Could it be? It's this one. Okay. Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite game? I mean, I think probably my favorite is Minecraft. I'm really into Dwarf Fortress lately. I just spent like the last 3 hours before this stream playing Dwarf Fortress. Super frustrating game, and yet very fun. I guess I like it because you get to make stuff in it. It's kind of creative. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Okay. Yeah, I think his line is just a little off. I'm going to use my line down here. All right. This is a Mobius trick. Little pock marks. Give it a texture. All right. Yeah, I'm not into horror games either, to tell you the truth. All right. This is something that needs to be addressed, which is right here. Okay, we want the wings to wrap around. I think we got that effect okay. I think we did okay on that. Although this is shadowed and there's nothing it shadows against. Why is this shadowed? Which layer did I have the shadow in? I did in layer 20. There it is. Let's get back into corrections. All right. So we're going to do this little crackling energy nimbus here around. It kind of connects both Khonshu and Juggernaut here. I like this little mental health, this little mental lightning bolt thing that I put in here. This felt very Errol Otis to me when I did it. I'm like, oh, I'm like Errol Otis now. Dentutu says, my favorite game has to be Minecraft. I don't play much other games. If it was Minecraft, it would be Jenga. Yeah, I like it because it's creative, right? It's one of those things. Like, and there's so many different ways you could play it. Like, you could just... I've been making it difficult on myself, this modded game that I play. Like, I'm trying to set up in the Arctic... in the Arctic way, so I have to like dig down to get dirt, and I have to use shipwrecks to get wood. But then I actually started like I built a mine under the ocean. Like I had to like swim down and dig like a little air pocket and then like start mining down into that, and that was really cool. Like that turned out to be a fun idea. What's going on here? No, stop, go away. So, in my mind, anyways, I'm imagining this is how to have fun with Minecraft. Yeah, it could be applied. It could apply to any type of person. Yeah, there's so many different ways to play it, including not playing it at all, just using it as, you know, an expressive voxel canvas kind of thing. You know, where you're, you know, making stuff. But like, okay, so in my mind, here's the storyline. My character was on the ship that was shipwrecked in the glacier, and he's the sole survivor. And so now he's building his base in the ocean, right? So that's the story, you know. If you've ever watched the Lego Masters, you ever watch Lego Masters? They have Lego Masters Australia, they have Lego Masters US. they give them these things like, okay, you could use the Legos to build a volcano or something. They give them some kind of thing to do, and then they're like, impress us, and they give them some kind of assignment. One of the things that they judge them on is the storytelling. They go, okay, so what's going on in the in this Lego build? Here's the monster crawling out of the volcano, and here's all the people running away, and stuff like that. And then they'll even work in details, but it's a friendly monster. He's just misunderstood. I love stuff like that because it sort of like opens up all the possibilities that were never part of the game to begin with. And then one of the ideas I had, this really comes from Grian, but have you ever seen Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared? Yeah, it's a game show, Lego Masters, where they judge people on their Lego builds. So you got to see Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Look it up on YouTube. They actually have clips of it on YouTube. Or what's cool about Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is it's this sort of really kind of twisted art project. It's supposed to look kind of like a kid show, but it's not really. And it has all this hidden lore in it. Like there's all these hidden details, and it reveals another story that's going on. And I was thinking I should do that, right? That would be cool. Like build some hidden lore into there. And there's hidden lore in the Life series, like Grian does it too. Like if you saw Secret Life, the symbol on the Secret Keeper is from the Evolution SMP Evo. It's a symbol of the Watchers, and the clever bit about the Watchers is the Watchers are implied to be like these weird gods but it's also implied to be the audience watching the show too, so they also have some power. And it's like his big build in Hermitcraft was the Entity. Remember the Entity? And then of course there was the Grumbot and Dwayne, right? The rock, the big rock thing right there. He's hidden the symbols for all of his previous builds in there. There's one for the Architects, which is from season 6. There's one from the Moon in season 7. There's Grumbot from season 7. And it's not obvious. There's one episode where he's doing his kind of like end of the episode recap, right? And it completely went over my head at the time when I saw it. He's running along the bridge from Mumbo's base, doing his end of the episode recap, and suddenly he falls through a hole in the floor, and he almost dies. He goes, "Oh, I didn't die. I should have died." And he looks around, and he's directly in front of the rift, the rift thing that he created. And then there's this weird sound that plays, and there's a whole video, not by him, that's like a fan theory video that basically that was the moment that the Entity sort of took over, and that Grumbot's real goal, of course, is to I'm on the ink layer. Is to unify the different realities and stuff. So it's a really interesting fan video, and I think that's how Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared got started. It started with one of these fan videos, so they started kind of playing up to it and adding some of those details in until you ended up with this whole other story. Oh, this is wrong. Is this over here? Yeah, okay, there we go. All right, I think that's close. Now, he wants me to fix this guy. Let me show you this correction on this guy. He says you got the shoulder line wrong. I think I can fix that. I like this stuff. Storytelling is great. I think that is my strong suit. Life drawing and reference could really push your work forward a lot. Um, I agree. I agree. I need to up my game. That's the problem. All right, what I need to get on this layer first and erase it where I screwed up. Is it not on that layer? Oh, it is on that layer. Okay, so it's not on that layer. Is it on layer 4? Where did I draw this? It's not on the panels layer. It's not on the ink layer. It's not on layer 20. Or layer... it's on the bubbles layer. I'm so dumb sometimes. All right, here we go. We're going to erase it from the bubbles layer. It's not meant to be there, just so you know. All right, so what we're doing here is we're fixing the shoulder line. I'm going to leave his corrections up because I think on this one he's spot on. That is exactly right there. That's the sleeve. All right, let's bring the corrections back out. Whoops. Hello, Aesthetic Stars, previously Mink. Dentsu 2, Minecraft lore goes hard. Have you seen Matt Pat's dissection of the game lore? I think so. I think I've seen some of it, yeah. And I quite like it. I think it's really cool. Is that the one where it's like it's showing the Enderman as basically like the whole thing is a big plot by the Endermen to get you to save them, save their universe because of the ultimate heat death of the end. That's why it's called the end. Yeah, there's a whole full video timeline. Aesthetic Stars, welcome. I don't know you, but you're very welcome. I'm trying to fix my comic page that I just turned into class, and I got corrections back, and so I want to address those. So my teacher doesn't think I'm ignoring him. I think we got it. I just got corrected. I'm new to your channel. Well, I'm glad you're here. I meant directed. Directed is good. All right, so what I do here is basically comics pretty much every day. Just, you know. All right, let's see what we got. I think that's it. I think we did it. All right. I am going to send that forward. I could look at this all day, and then and it's one of those things where they're not so much done as abandoned, like where you just stop working on them. Well, thank you very much for saying that. Would you like to make comics, Aesthetic Stars? I highly encourage you to make your own comics too. I just got this book. This is like a kid's book, but I think it's pretty good. This is about making your own comics. And this is a book that I had back in the day. I got at the library, the complete book of cartooning. And this is super old, but it's useful as well. Anyways, I just got those in the mail. All right, I'm going to show you my next assignment, which is this, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a knight and he's dismissing a cleric. Oh, no, it's a king. So this is just a real quick sketchy trace thing where I'm trying to figure out where everybody is. But I have a reference, so let me get my reference out, and then I'll show you what the reference looks like. Oh, no, you have to go. That's okay. Well, it's cool either way, man. It's cool either way. All right, I'm gonna bring up my reference. Is this it? No. Yes, this is it. Okay. Let's full screen this, and I'm going to stop my screen and then present my screen, share screen. There we go. There it is. Okay, so this is the game that I'm doing I'm doing some of the interior art for. Hey, Tuco. So this character in the middle here is named what is his name? Anselm, right? And in the book, he gets exiled, and they want me to do a picture of him getting exiled. So this is I didn't do this picture, by the way. This is not me. But it's a pretty good, hang on. Here's a paying job. So we're gonna try and I think I drew this guy without reference. I just from memory of what I remember that one looking like. I don't like his beard. I think they made his beard too big. I think he would have a more scraggly beard. Because he's old. All right, we're just gonna be in the sketchy layer. I put him in a cloak. I'm gonna leave him in the cloak. He's supposed to be a cleric. And I'm gonna put him in like this, this thing here. Maybe I should give it more of a. There we go. This is cartooner language. Well, thank you very much, Aesthetic Stars. Tuco asks, what size canvas do you draw your pages in? 11 by 16, and I'll tell you why. Normally, when you're doing for real comics, you use this is a typical set of Bristol, which is 11 by 17. So I used to do my digital as 11 by 17. What happens when you do that, though, is it really squashes, it narrows the thing. And what I found out is, even when they're drawing at 11 by 17, they don't use the whole page. There's a little blue, the blue line template is on there, and it's it leaves out like an inch and a half down at the bottom, pretty much. So, or however you put it on there. So 11 by 16 is closer, since I don't have to deal with an actual blue line template in digital. And it also translates better to like 8.5 by 11. Your standard page size of 8.5 by 11. It just translates better because what's 11 by 16 reduced to half? 11 and a half. 11 divided by half is 5.5. Wait, 8.5 by 11. No, 17 divided in half is 8, and 11 divided in half is 5.5. 8.5 by 11. Well, something like that. Are you in M1 so you get a decent layer limit? I don't use many layers, so there's my layers. You can see I've got 2 right now on a full page. Now remember, I don't do color. Well, you can see some color things in here. I'm bad at color. But here's a page. This is a typical page. Let's do the one I just did. This is with like all the layers on for all that stuff that's on there. And you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, 21, 22, 23 layers. But I do have a pretty good, let me show you what I got. I've got, this is iPad Pro 12.9 3rd generation with, where's the memory on there? 256 gigabytes. So it is pretty good. Like at the time, it was like, it wasn't the very top, but it's like, it was like the top of the middle or the middle of the top kind of the line in 2019. I just started doing comics in 2019, by the way. All right. I mean, I've always been a drawer, but I've never been a comics guy before. Been able to do it myself. All right, so let's figure out this. This is our guy. I think we got that guy. Okay. For the king, I don't really know what he should wear. Maybe he should have like, let me find a king reference. We're going to close this page. Exit full screen. Turn your email off. Hang on. King. Maybe I need fantasy king reference. Fantasy king reference. These don't look like fantasy kings. Oh, that one does. Okay, let me show you what I got. All right, hang on. Yeah, there goes a few hours. No. I don't. I'm very decisive. Yeah, I'm a big fantasy guy myself. Aesthetic Stars, absolutely. Like, I love D&D art. That is a big deal. Hang on 1 second. Pinterest. No. Just the tab. That's what I want to do. Screen sharing was canceled. All right. Present. Share screen. Pinterest. Okay, there it is. And then if I make it about this size, nope, this size. There's no, this is fantasy king reference, and I don't get any kings, but okay, here's a king right here, and here's another one. This is the one I wanted right here. I think this guy. This is Rich. I think this is one I used for what I have. You like dragons? I love. You want to see a dragon I did? Aesthetic Stars. I'll show you. Let's see. I gotta find it. I may not be able to show you. We'll see. I did a bunch of like D&D character sheets that have dragons on them, though. Let me find it. That's kind of a cartoony one. I did some bigger ones as well. Where's the dragon character sheet? This is one from a Dungeons and Dragons character sheet. What? You can't really see it. Hang on. What file format do you export your Procreate files for coloring or printing later? Okay, so I never color them for the most part. I print them in usually JPEG, and if it's for print, it's PDF, right? So it's either JPEG or PDF, straight to PDF. Now you might be thinking, but that reduces the quality. But I am kind of like I am trying to get a rustic look to them. I can't find the one. Where's that dragon I did? I'm gonna make one more look, and then you're out of. Oh, here it is. Okay, here we go. So this is from the Runes Fantasy RPG zine. I did this part. This is the back of a D&D character sheet, and then the front of it is the head, which is this one right here. Yes, that's your Tuco, exactly. The 80s style. That is it. You're 100%. Oh, I did this elf. I did this elf character. There she is. But hang on. Let's go back to this king. Where is it? Stop screen, present screen. Yes, that's exactly what it looked like. That was what I was into. All right, I'm looking at this because I like this belt. Look at this sword belt that's on that the king has got, and also the cape that he's got. I also like that he's got this sort of this collar. I think is neat. So what if we have the cape? We have the shoulder pad or the shoulder guard on the over the top. Like maybe this is part of like armor. He's a warrior king or something. And then we have this cape that comes down. Maybe to about, maybe not. I had it going down like even further, but that's far enough probably. So we're going to take this and this thumb is here. All right, looking at his, because it's D&D, we don't have to do the medieval thing, but I do like the symbology. I like those diamonds that they've got. That looks cool. And then this belt thing, I always thought that looked really cool too. So let's put like some, it looks like it has like some jewels or some kind of decorations on it. And you don't have to go too far because you're not detailing it at this stage. You're just kind of like blocking it all out and setting it all up. We're going to put some more diamonds. In the book, that I'm doing, the king's name, he has a cool name. It's Orneus, and he's kind of a mean king. This king has a sword, but my guy is supposed to have like a scepter or something. Maybe I could look for a scepter. King scepter. Oh, there's Prince Charles's scepter. I like some of this. I like the idea that the scepter wears a crown of its own. That's kind of a cool idea. And then this one is cool too. It's an Ottoman mace. There's a ceremonial mace. Oh, I love this one. Look at that one. Maybe that's the one we'll use. So we do like 2 layers and then all right, let's do this as like he's got like a chainmail. It goes down. I don't know how this is supposed to. This is me pointing. How does this look? I like the idea of it. This curve. This guy is getting exiled for real. All right. This could be like, maybe like it's a finer chainmail, so we do it like with these little circles. His mithril chainmail. What is happening? How about this? It doesn't end there. It's like over there. Okay. There's a drop shadow. And I had this notion of putting an archway behind him, but I think that's going to screw me up because it tangents with the drop of the cape. So instead of that, let's do something else. We got to figure something else. I thought I'd put the cleric inside of a light. Right? He's like, there's a light here. All right. We're going to stop screen. Boom. What's the most satisfying part when drawing? Getting it done is always very satisfying. But actually, it's very frustrating when you're approaching the end because you don't know when you're really done. You turn it in and somebody wants corrections or... Which, you know, if it's somebody's paying you, they're pretty much entitled to the corrections if you miss something or you didn't get quite something right. But every once in a while you get the impossible person, right? So that I haven't had too many of those. I've been actually quite lucky. And for my comics, it's the comics literally are mine. I don't work with anyone else for comics except for people that I completely know and love. So basically, Evan, I would work with anytime. Jake, also known as Heavy Oscillators, I would work with him anytime. He's really cool. I would work with Shell. Lots of people I would work with, but it's tough, you know, because a lot of times your vision doesn't align, so it is easier not to work with anybody else. The problem is there's so many different things that go into comics, so it's you have to know about lettering, you got to know about composition, and it's not just drawing. It's not just drawing characters. It's a lot of times it's drawing the lighting and drawing the environments, and so you end up with these comics that don't have any backgrounds in them. Or vehicles. Like I can't draw vehicles, so they're just going to be talking the whole time in an apartment. So that can be very frustrating. Even if it's you that, like a lot of times it's me that can't draw. You know, it's that might be beyond my capabilities and so on. In this case, I think D&D, old school D&D art, I think is in my realm. Especially stuff like dragons. I know Aesthetic Star is probably already left, but man, I love old fantasy art. I think it's great. It just fires up my imagination. I love mythology. This is his hood. I can't remember what his. Hang on, let me bring up my reference for the cover again. Nailed it. All right, nope, here we go. Okay, he does have some symbols, some symbology on his outfit. But I'm not sure I understand it. Let me download full screen it. Full screen. All right. He has like what looks like these fire symbols. I might have there's a little short story that he's in, and I might have to reread that to see if there's any other details that I could have added that are in the story. Whoops. All right, because the light's here. This is our light, by the way, up here. Is his ear too far forward? Do you keep your DPI at 300? Yes, exactly at 300. Dentity says, what are some mythological creatures you've done? I love mythology. I love griffins, dragons. I like just random monsters. I did a this is not exactly mythology, but I'm really proud of this stupid thing. Hang on. There it is right there. I love my Displacer Beast. He's like a panther. It's a 6-legged panther. But I also did this stupid guy. I love him. And then I just also did a mimic. Which, that one cracked me up. I like that one. All right, anyways. Yeah, keep your DPI at 300. That is the minimum you're going to want to go if you're going to go into actual print. Like if you're going to send it off to, I self-publish. So it's print on demand. This is not like, so it's not like going, I'm a public author. What it really is you send it off to like a company that'll print anything. That's what I do. Because I'm a published author. No, I'm just a humble dude trying to make my way in the world. But yeah, 300 is your minimum you want to go with. All right, and this is, by the way, this is not the real layer. This is all going to be reduced to like it is, yeah. And I'm going to throw another layer on top, and then I'm going to ink the top layer. So I'm going to, whoops, where is this? So this layer will become the ink, and that's one of the ways that I am really economical on layers, and I don't use too many layers. So I am playing with the brushes of that Rusty Nib brush pack. It's really cool. The one I use the most, I'll just tell you, is Rusty Nib 1, regular old, the first one in there. I have used some of the others. I've used Micro Nib and Waxy Nib, Fountain Bleeder. I'm really big into fountain pens in real life. So I like the Wally Wood pen. This one is really grungy. Like when you first start using it, Tuco, you're gonna be like, I don't know if I like this. You're gonna be like when you do your first drawing with it, you're gonna go, I don't know, this looks a little too messy. It's making my art look messy. Just draw through it. Do like 2 or 3 drawings in that. Just grit your teeth, and eventually you'll see the beauty of it really come out, because it is super grungy. Like that's what's cool about it, I think. All right, so for example, let's do the king, and you can see if you look in close, like that is really ugly. Like that's super grunge. Yeah, Tuco says this is all hobby for me. Yeah, pretty much for me too. You get the occasional paying job though. Tuco, you will, especially if you kind of if you're in the D&D scene at all. You could easily, I'm sure, get some of those as well. Because I didn't start out doing anything for pay. I recently got noticed on Instagram, and somebody said, "Hey, could you do this for me?" And this is how much. So it's been pretty recent, to tell you the truth. And I've always felt like that's how it works. The market decides. People decide whether they want you or not. Right now, just doing line exercise. Just started my art journey in my early 50s. Tuco, I'm old. I'm old too. I'm also, I don't want to say exactly how old, but I am also in my 50s. Don't tell anyone. Yes. I've showed this picture before. I showed it to Dintu too. Tuco, this is what I felt like. Let's see if I can show him the picture. Hang on. Tuco, is this you? This is me. Yeah. This early in your art journey, you're getting experience in paid work. Well, is it this early in my journey? I started in 2019. Comparatively early, I guess. I mean, I was always been kind of a drawer. I suppose. But I've never. Yeah, you'd be there. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. My advice is draw every day if you could stand it. If you don't die, draw every day. Some people say it's bad advice. For me, it was really helpful because I was afraid that I was going to run out of time. This is right when COVID was hitting. I just started like 2019. We all went home for the lockdown in 2020, March. I don't know if I got that eye right. But I took the opportunity. I'm like, you know what? I don't have to work right now. I could just do whatever. And then when I finally went back to work, and I went back to work in like September of that same year, I was still drawing, and I still draw every day today, even though I work full time. I don't have anything to do with art in my real job. Yeah, it's like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was goofing off playing video games too, but I was drawing every day. Yeah, the amount of time. You know what you might really like, Tuka? Let me show you something that's pretty cool. Hang on, I'm going to share my screen again. Hang on, I got to exit this one. All right, we're going to go to something called, you're gonna like this, quick poses. Okay, present, share screen. I'm going to share the entire screen on this side, screen 2. This one, screen 1. Okay, this is called Quick Poses. I'll put it in the thing over here, quickposes.com. Okay, and what this is basically there could possibly be some nudity, so I'm going to try not to do nudity. But let's see. You would do timed practice up here. I'm going to do gender, all, type, pose, clothing. Let's do clothes and costumes. We won't do the nudes. 60-second drawing, right? And you get out your sketchbook. Let me get a sketchbook out. Do I even have a sketchbook? Handy to me? Where is it? All right. And you say, I want to draw 10 images. There's 10 right there with an interval of 60 seconds. So 60 seconds is real quick. Not safe for me. The work is fine for me. It's art, right? Exactly. And this is art, right? So it's cool. Now you can actually get an account, and it's free. And I actually have an account, and if they do, it'll let's see if I can do I'll log in. Hang on. So when you log in, it knows your achievement. So I've got the this is the 20 hours achievement. I'm a little embarrassed to show you that. I've got 20 hours. Okay, so here we go. Let's do the challenge again. No, time practice. 60 seconds. Yeah, it's pretty good. 60 seconds. I want to do 10 images, all genders, clothes and costumes, and go. And so you just start drawing, right? So you just sort of like, and you're just you only got 60 seconds, so there's not much you can do, right? So you're just trying to get the basis of the gender, of the gesture. And this will help your speed. This will help your sense of like understanding the form. I like her dress that she's got on. She's got kind of a, and they have it with costumes. They have the nudes. They have, let's get this thing too. And I won't do all 10, but I'll do one. Okay, there's, let me do that ninja too, because that's cool. Look at this ninja. I like it because his pose is cool, and like, because he's foreshortened, he's coming at us, and it's going to be so easy for me to get this wrong, and I think I will get it wrong. Also, this is black on black, right? He's got a black costume. So when his arm is in front of him, his arm is in black, but his leg is in black too. And the shadows, what color are they? They're also black. Okay, so there we go. Ah, there's a partial nude. All right, let me share my screen. Stop screen. So you do 10 of these in a row, and you'll fill up a sketchbook really quickly. And what you'll find out is after a while that you've gotten pretty good at just sort of sketching out people, and that will help your drawing immensely. And then instead of doing 60 seconds, you'll do 90 or 300. That's 5 minutes. Oh, I'll take a whole 5 minutes to draw something. This feels like a luxury. After a while. So yeah, Tuco's saying 20 hours is nothing if you were in a gesture practice. Oh, you are so right, man. That is totally true. It just, because like you think if you just do one exercise, 10 figures at 60 seconds, that's 10 minutes. So if you did that 6 times, that's an hour. You did that 6 times 20. So yeah, it'll never end. Right now, my anatomy studies, I am building the frame with simple shapes. I think that's a good way to go. Yeah, absolutely. I'm big into that as well. I like the oval for the rib cage, and then you got to get like the hip. If you get the hips right, I think you can usually get something good going with it. But anyways, let me go back to my digital here. Draw more of my king. What's up, King? There he is. And then, like I said, it's so many different skills, right? You got to do your figure drawing, cartooning and expression, lighting and shadow, animals, vehicles, buildings, perspective, and all the different perspectives there are. There's all kinds. Lettering is hard. My very first comics that I did in 2019, they're not great, but the worst thing about them is the lettering. You can almost forgive some of the art, but the lettering is unforgivable. It looks like a 3-year-old did it almost. Not enough space in the speech bubble, So many things went wrong with it. All right. Okay, let's call it what it is. Oh, there's some cool things in Procreate you should learn. Like, if you hold a shape, it'll form the perfect oval. This can work against you too, though. But you can also get it to do a circle by pressing your finger down. It'll go to the perfect circle. Turco says, I have not even started learning typography styles. It's so different nowadays. Yeah, don't skip out on Blambot. Go to Blambot. It's so great because you can like, this is how I do it. Make sure you do it with your iPad. Go to Blambot. Go. Comic fonts and lettering. Find the lettering, like find the ones that you want, and these are all specifically for comics, and they're usually free, especially for indie comics. And you'll get it. It'll download to the iPad, and then you just open it in Procreate, and it'll put it exactly right in the right. It'll install it to your iPad. I could not figure out for the life of me how to install fonts on an iPad until I figured out how to do it. But Procreate has the installer sort of built right in. The other thing that I would recommend is just learn how to, if you haven't already, I don't know anything about your art that much, Tuco, but but I'd love to see more of it. Throw a line, like you don't have to like. This is the problem I see a lot of people do is where they go, they pet the line. Like if they were going to draw this hand, they would go. You got to throw the line, right? You got to be confident. So if you get that, you will be ahead of 90% of everybody I see drawing. Like there's so much of like, like the hairy lines. If you can learn to throw a line, you'll be way out ahead. Or I guess it's called line confidence. I don't know what it's called exactly, to tell you the truth. Oh, let's do this little circle thing here. Let's say this is part of his armor. The other guy I like a lot is, oops, that's too thick. If you get it, by the way, and if you get a brush like the Rusty Nib ones that can do thick to thin, like you can get some really cool texture effects where you're building the shading and the lighting right into the texture. Oh, I can't do that on both characters. Let's do it over here. Oh, Peter Hahn's Dynamic Bible is fantastic. I've got a downloaded copy of it somewhere. I don't have Rocky Kim's Anatomy class. I'll check that one out. And Rendering in Pen and Ink by Arthur Gupti. I've got that one too. That's a great one. So I know two of yours. Those are outstanding. Both of those are very cool. Peter Hahn, especially, if you catch any of his live streams, you ever watch any of those where he's drawing? It'll be drawing like an insect or a tank or something. But he talks about it while he's doing it, and I got a lot out of those. Yeah, you were on the quest, Tuco. I can't wait to see what you're going to come out with. Now, I know I went from small to big, but is that too much, or do I need to go back and? I think it works. All right. Here we go. You guys knew? He has a new one. I also check it. I'll look into that. I have the old one, and the Guptill book is good too. That's the one where you're doing like that. Is it close to that one? That kind of exercise. So I took traditional inking. In the last Kubert class I was in, it was JP Buzzio's traditional inking, and he had us do those as well, and that was really useful. Yeah, is that the same one? Yeah, that was JP Buzzio made us do those too. I got a lot out of that actually, because once this was traditional inking, you couldn't do digital. You actually had to the real ink, right? So you had this, and where's my brush? All my brushes are over here. I think this is one of my good brushes. That's my round number 3, I think. This brush is in bad condition. It's a round number 1. It's a Dugatus. It's not a great brush, but like inking with a brush, is a real skill. I don't have it yet. Yeah, Guptill's teachings are probably the go-to for all the current inkers we follow. Yeah, I would agree. I see that one mentioned a lot. I have the book. I've looked at it. I have not followed it super closely, other than when I was in JP Buzzio's class, and he's really good. I was gonna take. By the way, when you take these classes, the Kubert classes, you can take the same class over and over again. It's not for a grade, for a real grade. So, like, I've taken narrative art probably 5 or 6 times because you learn something new every time. I think I'm near the end of where I'm getting a whole lot out of it, but I'm still getting corrections, and I'm still getting a lot out of the corrections. So I would take JP Buzzio's course again if he offers it, or if anybody else is offering traditional inking. I would definitely consider that as well. That's a pretty good king. All right. We're at 7:56. I've got less than 5 minutes to go, but we're going to try and keep drawing. All right. I'm just trying to black this out a little bit to provide a balance. It's always good to have like a big chunk of black on the page to balance anything you have on there, light and dark. You want it to be about a third black, a third white, and a third of gray, like this, black with white mixed in. So this texture right here I would call that a gray texture. Well, maybe you wouldn't call it that. I don't know. But getting a good solid chunk of black on there, the contrast really makes everything else on the page pop, and it will increase your your illusion of three-dimensionality. So that's a gray texture we're creating right there. Okay. I think I made this arm too close to the edge. I may have to take this whole thing and just shift it over. I'm going to finish the whole drawing, and then I'll probably like shift it over later. That's a throw. And if you go too fast, you run the risk, like I just did, of screwing up the line weight. But luckily, in the land of digital art, you can get away with it. You can fix it. Oops. Oh, this is where I wanted to do the fine chainmail. So if you can hide use your textures as shadows. So anywhere you would put a shadow that isn't a complete black shadow, just bunch up in your textures in there, and the textures become the shadow. So see how that becomes almost like a shading. On Peter Hahn's Dynamic, this is Tuco again. On Peter Hahn's Dynamic, he just published a new version of his older book. If you have the older book, you were good. Yeah, I have the older one. I don't have a real version of it either because I couldn't find he sold it through Kickstarter. So I found a digital copy. He did some digitals through Kickstarter, and I managed to get one of those off of Scribd. Hopefully it was a legal copy. I think it was. All right, this is going to be another chainmail. This is a chainmail. What do you call that? Mantle? Yeah, the older book is a collector's item, and then in the new book there are now watercolor washes. It's black and white, and I don't have a real one. I have a PDF somewhere. Very attractive book. Have you seen him on Proco? Tuco? So there's a Peter Hahn demo on Proco where he's at some art show, and he does a live demo, and he's like a printer. I mean, he just starts at the top corner of the page, no underdrawing. He just starts out with ink, and he draws this dwarf and like a some kind of pack animal. Oh man, we're at time. I've got to shut down my stream. It's 8:01. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, watch his streams he has on bot. Awesome. That's pretty cool. Video on demand. Yes. All right. Please like, follow, and subscribe. There will be more comics every day. We're going to keep on drawing. I have to shut down here because my stream is at an end here, as it usually does. This is what happens. All right, hang on. Here's my ending scene. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate everybody hanging out. See you later, Did22. See you later, Tuco. Welcome to Aesthetic Stars. Hope you come back in the future. And anyways, thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you all later.
Because all you of Earth are idiots.